January 21, 1968. Khe Sanh Combat Base, Northwest Quang Tri Province. What hits you first is the concussion. You're with U.S. Marines as artillery walks in before dawn. The danger is constant and enclosed. The cost is measured in hours underground and bodies above ground. In this video, we're breaking down the 77-day siege of Khe Sanh in 4 escalating phases, and why waiting under fire, not knowing if relief would come, stayed with the men long after it ended. You feel the ground shudder before you're fully awake. Dust fills bunkers. The perimeter takes hits within minutes. North Vietnamese Army artillery zeroes in fast, striking ammunition areas and aircraft on the strip. At Khe Sanh, elements of the 26th Marine Regiment face NVA units positioned in the surrounding hills by late January 1968. After-action reports noted thousands of rounds impacting the base in the opening days. Distances matter now. Enemy guns sit several kilometers out, mostly unseen. A veteran later recalled, paraphrased, that you learned the sound of incoming by feel. Fear tightens into routine. After that, return was unlikely to any sense of safety. And once the base is bracketed, every movement becomes a calculation. Isolation sets in next. The road is cut. What hits you first is the waiting. Supplies and reinforcements arrive by air under fire. C-130s land fast, unload, and lift off while rounds land nearby. Army and Marine logistics summaries recorded repeated damage to the airstrip through February. Numbers accumulate quietly. Days without resupply windows, minutes to clear cargo, seconds between impacts. A short recollection, paraphrased, says men watched the sky more than the ground. Anxiety grows into dependence on schedules that slip. After that, return was unlikely to normal logistics. And once air becomes the only lifeline, weather and enemy guns decide your margins. This is where it turned relentless. Artillery becomes the background noise of life. Barrages arrive day and night, sometimes lasting hours. Unit journals recorded periods with hundreds of incoming rounds in a single day. Evacuation hospital summaries later described blast injuries, concussions, and stress reactions alongside shrapnel wounds. What hits you first is exhaustion. Sleep comes in fragments. A verified recollection, paraphrased, notes that time flattened into shelling cycles. Hypervigilance replaces fear. After that, return was unlikely to rest. And once fatigue sets in, judgment narrows to the next impact. What happened next surprised even experienced troops. Command committed overwhelming firepower around the base. Operation Niagara begins, with artillery, tactical air, and B-52 strikes saturating suspected NVA positions. After-action reports noted strikes called within hundreds of meters of friendly lines. Numbers are staggering. Sorties counted by the hundreds, tons of ordnance dropped across the hills. A veteran recalled, paraphrased, that the ground shook even when nothing landed inside the wire. Relief mixes with dread. After that, return was unlikely to confidence in distance. And once support comes that close, mistakes carry permanent consequences. Here's what most people miss. The enemy pressure didn't resolve cleanly. Probes continued. Snipers stayed active. Patrols outside the wire remained rare and costly. Unit histories from the 26th Marines describe a defense that held but never relaxed. You begin to realize the siege is psychological as much as physical. Waiting becomes the weapon. A brief recollection, paraphrased, captures it. Not knowing was the worst part. After that, return was unlikely to certainty. And once uncertainty governs, morale depends on trust you can't verify. By March 1968, ground relief operations push toward Khe Sanh. Elements of the 1st Cavalry Division move along Route 9. Contact flares and fades. When link-up finally occurs after weeks, the perimeter still takes fire. After-action summaries recorded the siege lasting roughly 77 days. Numbers close the ledger. Casualties counted, rounds expended, aircraft damaged. A veteran later recalled, paraphrased, that relief felt quiet, not triumphant. After that, return was unlikely to relief as an ending. And once the siege lifts, the meaning remains unsettled. The base would be evacuated later that year. On paper, Khe Sanh became a lesson in airlift, firepower, and defense under pressure. What stayed with the men was the waiting. Hours underground, listening for incoming, watching the sky and wondering if today was the day the schedule failed. Many later said this was when they learned how thin certainty could be. Once evacuated or rotated, they didn't come back to the same expectations. The siege ended. The uncertainty didn't.